Buy me a fix, cause I'm going down. Down to the place where I can't be found. Buy me a fix, cause I'm going down. Ugh. Man, the gate is crazy today for some fucking reason. Alright, let's fucking do it. Buy me a fix, cause I'm going down. So it wipes the whole chat every single time I swap between these two streams. That's not ideal. I don't like that. All right. Let me. All right. There we go. All right, so that should about do it. Now I can proceed with this here edity type thing. You know what we do. Yeah, I wonder what the hell the deal is. That gate on this channel is really bothering me, and I don't think I changed anything with it. Although we did turn up the volume. Let me take a look at this guy. Gate. You know, maybe it's just. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, let's take our threshold down to like. Yeah, that's better. All right, so a little less. Well, is it really better? It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. Either you can or you can't. Oh, so they say. Let's see. Take a look at Streamlabs. Twitch connection has expired. All right, let me try logging out and logging back in. Authorize. All right, there we go. So now I can see the dashboard and the recent events. Reactive overlays that respond to game. I don't care about any of that. So let me look at some of the chats of old. Say Gay tipped $5 and said big gay donkey wieners a little bit ago. Dib Membrane tipped $1 3 years ago and said I'm baked as fuck right now. And then 3 years ago, Honkman4 has followed. Wow. Let's see what's actually coming through here. So I see Dr. Gorilla just prompt AI to do this shit. At the present, AI cannot do this shit. Only I can do this particular thing. In 5 years, there won't be any human beings left to do this shit. So the time to do this is clearly now, before we're all dead and in hell, or working in Elon's fucking salt mines or Candy Mountain or whatever horse shit they build up there. The biggest fraud IPO of all time. Yeah, man, it's coming in and out for me. Hopefully it's not as bad for you guys. But, yeah, just hearing so much noise in the background. Here we go. That might help a little bit. So for those of you joining for the first time, I think it's just you, Dr. Gorilla. But, oh wait, actually, is Dr. Gorilla just Astro? Hold on. Well, I don't really give a shit if it is or not. Now that I think about it, all right, let me fix this. So it's actually day 2 is the first critical part. This is killing me. And I did not want to do this shit, and I'm maybe like 3 hours late. Oh, what's going on, Space? God damn. Yeah, I don't think you've ever been here for one of these things. Or maybe you had on your previous identity or whatever. Not fooling me for a fucking second. Here, hold up. There we go. I'm powered up with vitamin G for girl water, whatever this horse shit is. It's just a tiny bit of fruit and a lot of CO2. All right, I'll wake up as we get into this. But yeah, let's begin the edit of today. So the first thing I noticed as I logged in is that the tag that's supposed to tie this fucking chapter in with the previous one, I edited it out. So don't edit out your fucking tags. Let me go back and try to sort this out there. Yeah, I would have liked to do this at 4 today, but I have before, but it's been years. Let's see. No, I can't get away with saying a chevron of mustard. All right. He wore ratty black jeans, a black Sabbath shirt with mustard on the collar, and Birkenstocks. All right. I think if you got mustard on your collar, you're unkempt. So the sweat rings are probably more period appropriate for a game store in 1979 where this takes place. This is before they had the that website where the guy just went to guys where you could see their ass crack playing Magic the Gathering, and he just did this thing. Because that really had a fundamental shift on gamer culture. Forevermore, after that dude just posed next to guys like Titanic. Because let me give you some context here. Some of the people watching this don't know what we're talking about, but gargantuan men play a game called Magic the Gathering, where you pretend to be wizards and slay each other with your cards. And so these gargantuan men had this habit of just wearing sweatpants, and as they shifted around like tectonic plates in their seats, they would reveal great fissures, their ass cracks, and their clothes were so ill-fitting. I'm suffering from this myself at the moment. Uh, just their big asses would hang out of it. And there's this one fellow fat body, ginger fellow by persuasion, who would take pictures of himself squatting next to these guys and you doing like this expression right here. And it was an internet phenomenon. And after that, forevermore, people were ashamed to be disgusting and unwashed in the game store. No, it's just nerd girls started coming around, and then these dorks had to clean up their fucking act. But prior to, I don't know, the release of the movie Hackers in 1994 or something like that, you did not get females up in these game stores, and it just wasn't an issue back in the day. So everybody could be completely putrid, and nobody would say shit because they wanted to play a game with their little painted miniatures. So anyhow, that's why this guy wears a Black Sabbath t-shirt with mustard on the collar. Let me see here. That's my silver wind. All right, so let's get to chapter 4. And then let me holler at pound LRH, as I'm wont to do, and just make sure that everything's cool there. Mm-hmm. People are fighting with EFS enable. All is well. Let's see here. I think this is all good. Back into the breach here. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, and why would you? The deal with this guy, hold on, let me take a look on YouTube here before I really get into the fray. I'll do anything to stop working. All right. Anyhow, so the idea here is what I'm going to do is I will read each chapter of this book, every word in it, and as we read, I will be listening for shit that sounds kind of out of whack. You know, sentences that are too bullshit. Just with me a lot. It's just trying to do too much in one sentence, or being too full of myself, or too gauche, or whatever the issue is. Hopefully, all will be revealed as we read it aloud, and I'm confronted with my own purple prose. So, yeah, that's the general idea. Most people, I think, are just listening to this or watching this because they are high on drugs and they want a voice in the room so that they can convince themselves that they have not died and gone to hell. Well, I'm telling you right now that is not the case. You are in hell. There is no escape, and I am your tormentor. But other than that part of it, so if you'd like, you can participate by watching along and letting me know if I fuck up. If you make a suggestion or an edit or something like that that I have not caught, I will add your name to the list. And let me read off this list of heroes right now. So Sloth has 3 edits, and Agatha has 2 edits. Everybody who gets an edit in will be thanked in the copyright page of the book. You can see in all my books where I've done this before, all these people have been thanked, and their names are immortalized in my direct to KDP novellas. But this one might do a little better, we hope. And whoever has the most edits at the end of it, I dub them the Edit Ace, and I send them a boss fucking hat that says Edit Ace on it, and they are reserved for a special place of honor in our copyright page. So previous winners include the likes of I wonder if Stratum won one. Stratum came close, but I don't know if he ever won one. Logic was the winner once, and Spathiwa, and hold on. I can just harken back. Who won fucking Space Tards? Yeah, I do have a book called Space Tards that I put out. It's amazing. It truly is. So I think Spathiwa won that one as well. And then Logic was definitely Zeros, and then Spathiwa was the winner for Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady. Hell yeah. All right, let's do it. So chapter 4. This is Robin the Prodigy by your boy Ziggy Zack ZYZ. Chapter 4. Scalpel, a nasal voice. Yeah. Let's see. I'm typing on a Mac keyboard for some reason. This is the Logitech MX Master keyboard. It's a chunk of shit. I don't understand why people like these. They might like it because the MX Master 3 mouse, or 4, or whatever the hell they're on, they truly are superior mice. Like, superb mice. Whereas the keyboard is like a butterfly type, no angle adjustment, like wireless. I think it's made out of aluminum and so forth. It's just a shitty take on the Mac Magic keyboard, which is a pretty decent keyboard generally. Anyhow, I should just be typing everything on the fucking typewriter over here. Chapter 4. Scalpel. A nasal voice barked in the operating theater. Uno watched from above. Something was very wrong. The fat doctor's mask rode below his nose. There was mustard on his gown. The pockmarked nurse brought over a tray cluttered with paintbrushes and tiny soldiers. They clattered to the floor as the surgeon... Well, why do I have this dream sequence? I should just cut this out. I think this guy... A pockmarked nurse brought over a tray. Yeah, I don't like this scene at all. What is fucking going on here? Why did I think I could get away with this? I think I wrote this exact scene also in Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady, and I think it did better there. Yeah, in general, like dream sequences are fun to write, but they're not fun to read. Is my idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me try to get through this. The fat doctor's mask rode below his nose. There was mustard on his gown. A pockmarked nurse carried a tray of paintbrushes and tiny soldiers. They clattered to the floor as the surgeon grabbed an X-Acto knife. His oh, it's so bad when I can't even read aloud my own bullshit. Why did I think I could get away with this? I think this should probably be rewritten. All right, I'm gonna not do a rewrite on stage, but chapter 4 intro rewrite. Yeah. I'll go to settings, control save. There you go. Yeah. So the problem that I have with this chapter is it's like you're doing like a dream sequence and it's chock full of like hobby store shit, but it's not revealed at this point that Una has any connection to like all this hobby store shit. I don't know. I guess it's like maybe like 3 total paragraphs. I can almost get away with this. I don't like it though. I'll rewrite it later. Although honestly, for somebody watching the stream, it's not super satisfying to be like, yeah, I'll just rewrite it later. Why don't we deal with our fucking problem now instead of putting it off into another day? Like the whole process of editing something is I put everything I was supposed to do off until a later day. And now here we are. I do like this part though. It's almost so absurd. I kind of want to lean into how retarded this is. Una tried to scream. She beat at the glass, but her arms had no strength. The body under the shroud began to convulse. The doctor reached into the cavity and raised a bloody hand. In his palm were a set of dice. Roll them bones, the doctor roared and flung the dice across the theater. Critical hit, the nurse cried. There was a wet, wretched sound as fluids gushed from the patient. No, I don't need that. Yeah. Basta! Una screamed. The surgeon and nurse. All right, there we go. Roll them bones, the doctor roared and flung the dice across the theater. Critical hit, the nurse cried. Basta! Una found her voice at last. The surgeon and the nurse noticed her. Their yellow eyes rose to the galley. They tugged down their masks and smiled. Mm-hmm. All right, basta! The surgeon and the nurse noticed Una. Noticed her. Their yellow eyes rose to the galley. They tugged down their masks and smiled. Their mouths were full of crocodile teeth. Una woke with a terrible jolt and groped for her glasses. Ah, esa revista pendeja. Oh, that stupid magazine. I have no idea if anybody would ever say esa revista pendeja. My, yeah, like this is one where I definitely need somebody who speaks actual Spanish to get in here. And also, we don't have a hyphen here because the work of translation or whatever is hopefully being done by the parenthetical translation. The sordid magazine had given her a nightmare. The awful sound from the dream went on and on. Oh, that's why. I just deleted. Uh, all right. Yeah. So I wasn't as retarded as I thought I was when I was doing. I often like I'll take something out and just realize that I put something in that worked off of it later on, but I don't believe that that means that I'm clever or anything. It's all a little too much with this chapter. Oof. The surgeon and the nurse noticed her. All right, roll them bones, the doctor roared and flung the dice across the theater. The patient thrashed and fluids gushed onto the floor. Critical hit, the nurse cried. All right, that actually works a little bit better because you get a little bit of the that the patient is suffering as a on account of this figment of a doctor or whatever. No, we need to get more into the sound. Alright, so we do need our wet, wretched sound that I previously removed. Roll them bones, the doctor roared and flung the dice across the theater. The patient thrashed, and there was a wet, wretched sound as fluids gushed onto the floor. Critical hit, the nurse cried. Alright, let's get out of this section. I still think I should probably rewrite or remove it, but it may just be that I'm cranky because I just fucking woke up. It took her a moment. The sordid magazine had given her a nightmare. The awful sound from the dream went on and on. It took her a moment to understand it was just Robin, throwing up in the bathroom. She padded over to check on him. I'm sorry, Tita. Robin gulped and quickly flushed the toilet. Yeah. Robin gulped. He hurriedly flushed the toilet. His nose ran, and there were tear streaks on his face. He looked so pale and sick in the fluorescent light. Una nearly cried too. She clenched her teeth and drew in air through her nose. He needed her to be strong now. Oh, conejito. That doesn't sound right. How would you say that? Conejito. Oh, conejito. It's fine, it's fine. Do you need a doctor? I don't think so. I can make you something to eat. Robin shook his head. Okay. Okay. If you need me, just call out and I'll come. Don't forget to brush your teeth. I won't. Una sat in her reading chair under the Afghan and worried. The Kit Kat clock in the kitchen ticked as Robin brushed his teeth, and the floorboards clicked. Yeah. So I don't like that pacing of this changes if I add that. Una sat in her reading chair under the Afghan and worried. The Kit Kat clock in the kitchen ticked as Robin brushed his teeth. Yeah. Una sat in her reading chair under the Afghan and worried. The Kit Kat clock in the kitchen ticked as Robin brushed his teeth. Soon the bathroom light clicked off. The tail talked to 3:16 a.m. No chance she could get back to sleep. Not after that dream. All right, so the Kit Kat clock, you know those wall clocks where it's like a cat and its eyes go as it ticks? That's a Kit Kat clock. And they have a rich and storied history, and they're still being manufactured. And some of the old ones are actually like highly sought by gay collectors. But yeah, back in the day, it was a thing to have a Kit Kat clock. Mm. I have no idea why I chose to include this in the story, by the way. But it's in there. This clock shows up like 10 times. Una put the kettle on for tea. Just as the water was about to boil, she realized the whistle might wake Robin. She hurried over and took the kettle off. I like that one. Moving too quickly made pain spike in her hip. With a grimace, Una poured the water into a saucepan. She let it boil and made her tea. It all felt so sadly familiar. When Hector got sick, there were many sleepless nights, just like this. So I like the concept of what's happening here. That she stops herself from, she stops the kettle from boiling so it won't whistle, and then she just cooks it in a pot instead, a saucepan. Okay, let's just say what type of tea it is. All right. And yeah, old Mexican ladies love their fucking chamomile. Believe you me. Una put the kettle on for tea. Just as the water was about to boil, she realized the whistle might wake Robin. She hurried over and took it off the fire. Moving too quickly made pain spike in her hip. With a grimace, Una poured the water into a pot instead. She let it boil and made her chamomile. So I've got the words ticked, clicked, and talked in the same paragraph there, Dr. Seuss. Don't fucking agitate me, because this chapter is full of all the shit that you like. So don't rile me up. Let me see here. Yeah, if I'm remembering the right chapter, this is 100% of just shit that you like. So don't put me in a state. Yeah, let's do. So this is the most valuable part of reading this all aloud, is you get to hear how the words flow. Let's try again. Una put the kettle on for tea. Just as the water was about to boil, she realized the whistle might wake Robin. She hurried over and took it off the fire. Moving too quickly made pain spike in her hip. With a grimace, Una poured the water into a pot instead. She let it boil and made her chamomile. It all felt so sadly familiar. When Hector got sick, there were many sleepless nights, just like this. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I no longer care about internal rhyming in stories, and I just fucking leave it there. Ticked, talked, and I don't think I have the word clocked. Yeah. No, you're allowed to have both ticked and talked in a fucking paragraph. What are you, the rhyme police? Come on. All right, here we go. Her rosary was on the reading table, on top of the family Bible. She murmured a decade of Hail Marys and ended with the Fatima prayer. O my Jesus, forgive our sins. Save us from the fires of hell. Lead all souls to heaven, especially those most in need of thy mercy. The clock ticked on. No grace. Some nights she could pray. Tonight it felt very far away. She set the rosary aside and reached for the Bible. The aged Douay Reams had belonged to... how do you fucking say that? Douay Reams? Alright. I need to actually know this in my life. Reams. Reams. Alright, how do you say this? Douay Reams? How did I have that right? I never pronounced shit right. I might have like looked it up and forgotten that I had forgotten. The aged Douay Reams had belonged to Una's mother and to her grandmother before. All right, we need the two. And I think you need a comma there prior to before, but I could be wrong. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm not implementing it. Yeah, I just it may be like a cultural difference or whatever there, but I feel like Americans don't give a shit if you have those two there. I certainly don't. But you never know what'll knock somebody out of a story. Now that I'm thinking about it, but hopefully, page 26 pages in, I hope I coast on that one. The clock ticked on. No grace. Let me see. Set the rosary aside and reach for the Bible. The aged Douay Reams had belonged to Una's mother and to her grandmother before. There's no comma. When Robin was born, Una gave the Bible to Lucinda. Una gave the family Bible to Lucinda. It came back after she passed. The covered edges were frayed. What's covered edge? Oh, yeah. Covered edges. Is that like a specific part of a Bible that I'm... let me see. Okay. So, let me see. So the covered edge is also called the yap, Y-A-P-P. The covered edge on a Bible, often called a yap, refers to the soft leather overhang that extends beyond the text block of the book. This design was developed in the 1800s by London bookseller William Yap to protect the page edges of pocket-sized Bibles from wear, dust, and moisture. The lever is folded over the foredge to create a flexible lip that shields the pages while still allowing the Bible to be carried easily. All right, let me take a look at that yap. Okay. Yeah, so covered edge makes sense there. I don't know that it's immediately apparent to every reader what's happening there. But yeah, it sounds, you can't say the yap was frayed. Let's see. The edges were frayed, the gilt had faded, but the words remained unchanged. Yeah. The covered edges were frayed, and the gilt had faded, but the words remained unchanged. I like that a little better. Una laid her hand on the cover, searching for strength. Anger came instead. How was this part of the plan? Her Hector. Yeah, this should be italics. It's a direct mental quote. Why don't we also italicize the fucking H that somehow escaped this highlight block? How was this part of the plan? Her Hector, her rock, gone. Her lovely, willful Lucinda snatched away. Now, he wanted Robin, an innocent child. How could he ask so much? How much could one person bear? Yeah, okay. It's Google can't understand the religious highlighting, I guess. How could he ask so much? Yeah, that doesn't need to be there. Cool. Una laid her hand on the cover, searching for strength. Anger came instead. How was this part of the plan? Her Hector, her rock, gone. Her lovely, willful Lucinda snatched away. Now he wanted Robin, an innocent child. How could he ask so much? The clock ticked on, impossibly slow. Opportunity there to mention it became frayed and faded from use by the previous family members. Isn't that implied? Like it's a family Bible. So when we get into the part where it belonged to her mother and her grandmother before, and we're in Mexico, so these guys probably hoppered that over the Rio Grande River like 40 fucking times, picking strawberries. There's no strawberries in Albuquerque. But no, I think it's implied. Please, Una whispered. So she wouldn't, if we're being realistic, like in her internal monologue, she would say like "por favor" or something like that. But I don't think that "por favor" hits the same as "please." So we'll leave it like that. But realistically, like none of this would be taking place in English, based on this character. Like, I would say her English is like 75, 85%. So she lifted the cover, closed her eyes, and turned the ancient pages. Ancient seems wrong there. She lifted the cover, closed her eyes, and turned the gilded pages. I don't think we have to say that she opens her eyes. Hmm. Lovely, woeful Lucinda. Now he wanted to take Robin, an innocent child. Now he wanted Robin, an innocent child. All right. Well, to take is clunky, um, and but the idea, like that the reader doesn't immediately understand what God wants Robin for, um, is something that is worth like getting into there. Yeah, maybe wanted is the wrong verb here. All right, let's try it both ways. Now he wanted Robin, an innocent child. How could he ask so much? Now he wanted to kill Robin, an innocent child. Hmm. Now he wanted to take Robin, an innocent child. Uh, kind of like uh, Robin is sort of like an Abel in this tortured fucking thing here. Uh, yeah, I don't like. I think you have a good point there, but I don't like take and I don't like kill, and I don't like steal. Like, um, so yeah, if we can find a verb that does what I want there, we can. But as is, um, I think it works okay. She lifted the cover, closed her eyes, and turned the gilded pages. Her finger fell on Romans 13:12. The night is past and the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. This is actually one of my. I like all the armor phrases in the Bible. Like, therefore, put on the whole armor of God, and cast aside the works of darkness, and so forth. Like, those are dope. Also, I think the Douay Reams is in Latin, if I'm not mistaken. So she's reading this in Latin. Is it in fucking Latin? Hold on. Because I think we may have the wrong type of Bible. It's a Catholic Bible being persecuted in. No, it's okay. It's a trend. No, it was like the one of the first translations from the Latin Vulgate. So that's why we've chosen this particular one. This is like old enough, and they're Catholics. This is the Bible that they would have. All right, I did research this at some point. Una glanced back at the kitchen, which faced east. Isn't she? Huh. I don't know where. I don't know that she could even see. Una glanced back at the kitchen. The clock's tail swayed and its big light eyes flicked back and forth. 4:24. Dawn was a long way off. Are we doing a minute by minute on this? Yeah, yeah, because like she's first at She has the dream. Robin's throwing up. 3:16. Is it really taking her an hour to make tea? And then, man, she's slow. Yeah, yeah. All right. 4:24. Dawn was a long way off. Actually, is dawn a long way off? Because it's 4:24, 1979. In I gotta stop editing when I'm like cranky. It's all right. Trying to ask fucking some AI to tell me if that's right or not. So at 4:24, Gemini is still catching up on past chats. There's like a website. Okay, so sunrise would have occurred at like 6 a.m. I guess I'm thrown off because now it's June, and like the Lord only knows what time it is there, and the dawn is like way early. All right, let's do this. Dawn was a long way off. I guess like at that point, like an hour and a half. That's a long way off to her. The reading table had a drawer cluttered with sewing stuff. Wait, would she say stowing stuff? Dawn was a long way off. Una's reading table had a drawer cluttered with sewing stuff. Sewing stuff sounds uh, awful, but like sewing junk is too much. Yeah, you know, it'd be full of like needles and bobbins and like that little tomato or that everybody sticks pins into. Yeah, that's doesn't track right to me, but Una's reading table had a drawer cluttered with sewing stuff. Sewing bits. Yeah, yeah. At the back, there was a black velvet pouch. Uh, no, I would never use the word paraphernalia or equipment there. I think stuff is right. It just sounds weird to say it like that. Who would say, maybe it's not old timey enough for this? Maybe stuff used to be like kind of vulgar. Like, would somebody chastise you for? I feel like I was reading like a Beverly Cleary book once, and Henry Huggins' mother criticizes him for wanting to eat a hunk of meatloaf and like using the word stuff to indicate bric-a-brac. Oh, wait. Does bric-a-brac work there? Let's see. Miscellaneous objects and ornaments of little value, bric-a-brac.
Bric-a-brac, 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 bric-a-brac.
I like it. Yeah. Come out with my bric-a-brac rap. Yeah. Bric-a-brac. Una's reading table had a drawer cluttered with bric-a-brac and sewing stuff. Una's reading table had a drawer cluttered with sewing bits and bric-a-brac. At the back, oh yeah, I'm doing it. At the back, there was a black velvet pouch. Una took it out and held it in her palm without opening it. Then she closed her eyes and flipped pages again. Una took it out and held it in her palm. Again, she closed her eyes and flipped pages. Ezekiel 13:23. Therefore you shall not see vain things nor divine divinations any more, and I will deliver my people out of your hand, and you shall know that I am the Lord. It's just a game, Una whispered aloud. The words felt hollow. The words felt hollow. You tell me what to do then. All right. It's just a game, Una whispered aloud. The words felt hollow. You tell me what to do then. The empty room swallowed her words. One last time, she closed the good... Yeah. So we keep saying book, but you really run into trouble when you use book to indicate the good book, aka the Holy Bible, aka the libel, because it's really just a bunch of lies about Satan. It's one of my favorite shit posts. Let me see here. It's just a game, Una whispered aloud. The words felt hollow. You tell me what to do then. Yeah. Nah. 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 The empty room swallowed her words. One last time, she closed the Bible and turned pages. Her finger landed in the middle of Ezekiel 23. uh, with a scowl, she closed the Bible and put it away in the drawer. Confession would be rough this week. No shit. Oh, what's up, cunts? What's going on, buddy? We only have 100,000 words of this to get through at this point. Maybe a little more than 100,000 words. Una opened the black velvet pouch and took out the deck. The packet of cards had yellowed with time. It was nearly as old as the Bible. Is Bible capital? Wait, have I been capitalizing all the Bibles? And then, when is Bible capitalized? when referring to the specific religious text. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Because it's the specific text, Bible is usually capitalized here. Although it shouldn't be. This is just like a death grip that they have on our culture that is quickly vanishing. One last time, she closed her eyes and turned pages in the Bible. Her finger landed in the middle of Ezekiel 23. With a scowl, she closed the good Bible. One last time, she closed her eyes and turned pages. Her finger landed in the middle of Ezekiel 23. With a scowl, she closed the Bible and put it away in the drawer. Confession would be rough this week. Una opened the black velvet pouch and took out the deck. The packet of cards had yellowed with time. It was nearly as old as the Bible. Around a drawing of a rooster, yo-ho, the deck read, Gran Fabrica de Naipes de Todo Estios, Clemente Jacques y CIA, or CIA, S.A., F. C. de Cintoro Número 2, Mexico, D.F. Wait, when did they start using Mexico, D.F.? It's like District Federal in 1824. Okay, cool. So that's fixed. With great care, Una shuffled the Loteria cards. Like the Bible, they belonged to her grandmother. Abuela Dominga would have never allowed a tarot deck or an Ouija board in her home. These were clear conduits to Satan. Somehow, Loteria was permissible. Whenever someone was sick, how'd that get through? Whenever someone was sick or laid up in bed, she would make tortilla soup, and they would all gather around and play. Grandfather Rodrigue was the cantor. He had an auctioneer's voice and knew all the lines and rhymes. They marked their cards with pennies, and the winner shouted Loteria, and got to keep their pennies. Such wonderful memories. Wonderful memories. It was Una's mother, Gloria, who taught her the cards could be more than a game. Gloria believed the cards could reveal if a man was lying, if money would come or go, or if a sick horse might get better. Once, a lover had offered to take Gloria on a cruise to New York City. She consulted the cards and refused. That ship was the SS Morro Castle, and her wealthy lover was one of 137 souls who perished in the terrible fire. Is 137 supposed to be fucking hyphenated? No, it's just like if she was 137 years old, then we would hyphenate it. Yeah, man, Loteria is the real shit. It's full of magical powers. That ship was the SS Morro Castle, and her wealthy lover was one of 137 souls who perished in a terrible fire. After extracting a promise to never tell Dominga, Gloria taught Una to read them too. After extracting a promise to never tell Dominga, Gloria taught. Would she use the word Gloria here or her mother? There's a lot to dump on the reader there. Like you have to give them all the members of like this extended family, and these people do not come up much in the story later. I guess it is what it is. Glor- After extracting a promise to never tell Dominga, Gloria taught Una to read the cards. First, she lit 3 candles. Then she shuffled the deck and cut it 7 times. Each time, after each cut, she prayed the novena of Saint Lucia. Hear my prayers and obtain my petitions. Then she focused on the question and brought it forward in her mind until there was nothing else. How can I help Robin get better? She dealt the spread of 7 cards face down. One by one, she turned them over. First, El Gorito. Gorito. Wait, can I do this? El Gorito. Almost, yeah. First, El Gorito. The bonnet. Take care of those close to you. Someone needs looking after. Of course, Una thought. Next, La Pera. The pear. Time was short. Una felt tightness in her chest. She did not like the direction this was going. It wasn't too late to stop and put the cards away. But if she did, she would worry about that pear for days. She turned over the next card. El Parajo, the bird. Nervousness, a danger of flying off before the work was done. What did it mean? The 3 flames drew higher. Perhaps a danger of not following through with the treatment. She would be wary of an unexpected change in the plan. There was a sudden chill in the air. Next, La Palma, the palm. Hard work was needed. Una nodded. It was a better card. The road would not be easy. There was some labor ahead. Labor meant agency, far better than helplessness. Next, El Soldado, the soldier. The path would be followed. There would be no exceptions to the rules. Another good card, more inclination to stay the course and follow the plan. Then, of course, the toy soldiers today and the dream. She remembered. Wait, did I take the soldiers out of the... I think I took the soldiers out of the dream. Then, of course, the toy soldiers today. Then, of course, the toy soldiers they saw today. She remembered how Robin's eyes had been so bright in the store. There was something there. Next came La Bandera, the flag. Victory. Una's heart beat faster. There was 1 card left. Her hand trembled a little as she reached for the card. Her hand trembled as she reached for the card. It's only a game, she chided herself. It did not feel like a game. The air was very still, and the candles burned high. She needed to stop this. Yeah. Una needed to stop this. She'd gotten carried away. Cards could not tell the future. Only God could. Only God could do that. She would put them away, forget the whole thing, and go to confession in the morning. The tension grew until she felt ridiculous. It was only a card. She turned the last card over. She turned it over. A skeleton held a scythe. La muerte. Death. All right, and that is the chapter. Am I going to mirror these card pulls with my chapter title? No, this is the only instance where Lotteria pops up in the game. But we will name this chapter Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. All right, so we'll have Grandma's Lotteria here. And that concludes this chapter. That's all that we could get done today. But I'm glad that we got something done. And this is... Tools. Word count. So we did 1499 words. And this was, I don't know, like 6 pages or so. That's not too bad, but it'll take a long time if this is all that we do here. So yeah, Lotteria cards are super neat. There are a bunch of different games that you can play with them, but generally people just play like a version of bingo with them. So the cantor is the person who like calls out the bingo games, and when people play this in like parlors and so forth, or used to, I don't know if anybody does it anymore. The guy would like call out like the different names and ways that rhymed and so forth to make it entertaining. It's kind of cool. It's like I guess Lotteria and a domino game called Mexican Train are worth reading. What do we got here? All right. So day two, 1499 words, chapter 4, and that is a wrap. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Just a reminder, any Streamlabs or whatever that people send in, it's all going to the Leukemia Research Foundation as penance for writing this fucking story and stealing their thunder. So I encourage people to donate to the Leukemia Research Foundation. Taking a look at them, they really do seem like they're one of the better charities, and they have a pretty good ratio. I think like $93 of every 100 that you send them actually go to doing research or something. Don't quote me on that because I just looked through like Charity Advisor and said like, all right, these guys seem legit. I was also thinking about doing like St. Jude's Hospital because they have like a lot more integrations with streams and stuff like that. They're like a much bigger charity, but in my heart, like the way to do this is research there. So send that money to them where I can't touch it, and it will appear on the screen. Let me know if you do, and I will shout you out. But at the end of this shit, I would like to send $500 to them, or 5,000. Let's see how crazy this gets. Dare to dream. But yeah, if you listen to the other show, it will be on at 10 o'clock. Maybe. Feel like shit. But yeah, I need to do a show. It's been too long though. So thank you to everybody who participated in this. Thank you, Milkness and Cunts and I don't know who fucking the other person is that chatted, but everybody who got in on this slowly but surely